Rachel and Joseph. Now Joseph is Rachel's son, hindermost. And he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. So he is bowed down 7 times. Why? Respect. He wants his brother to respect him. And Esau came to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Both of the 2 brothers that were in a big fight 20 years before have now made up. Took them 20 years, but they've made up. All right? Now, and he lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, "Who are these with thee?" And he said, "The children which God has graciously given unto thy servant." Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also and her children came near, and bowed themselves. After came Joseph near, and Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, "What meanest thou by all the droves which I met?" Remember, he sent all different droves at a time to his brother. And he said, he's talking about the servants and the cattle and the sheep and the goats and so forth. And he said, "I have enough, my brother. Keep thou that thou hast to thyself." And Jacob said, "Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found favor in thy sight, then receive my presence, the presence at my hand, for therefore I have seen thy face, as though I have seen the face of God, and thou wast pleased with me." So he's given him the presence. "Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because God has dealt graciously with me, because I have enough." I like that. He says, "I got enough. I got plenty." So he gave him all these presents. And he said unto him, "My Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds and the young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die." It's the same thing with the Christian. A Christian is considered a sheep. Bah, let me hear your best bah. You're a sheep. And you cannot be overdriven. So those that want to become super Christians, it will not happen tomorrow. It will not happen today. You cannot be overdriven. That means God's not going to overdrive you. He's not going to put more on you than you can handle. All right? And each one of us can handle different levels. But if you overdrive them, guess what happens? They die. And because of that reason, God never does that. All right? Now, some pastors, they do. They might say, "I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that," and they overdrive. And they overdrive. And you can't have that. If you overdrive your relationship, if you overdrive your children, basically you can spiritually kill them. And so you have to be you've got to be careful with sheep. You can't put too much on them. They can't get stressed out. That's even at work. Relationships. You can name anything in here. If you overdrive them, they might be able to burn them. These young people, they can probably burn both sides of the candle at one time. But us that are older, No. I mean, we can only do so much, and that's it. I mean, that's it. There's only so much. And so he says, no. And he said, let us take our journey and let us go, and we'll go before thee. And he said unto him, my Lord knoweth, and the children tender, the flocks are and the herds are with the young are with me. Herds and with the young are with me. And if man should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly. You have to be soft. All right? You got to be tender. If not, you get yourself in trouble. All right? Now we'll lead on softly according as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure until I come unto my Lord unto Seir. And Esau said, let me now leave thee with some of the folk that are with me. And he said, what needeth thee? Let me find grace in thy sight of my Lord. You say, why did he do that? Well, one brother, Esau, said, let me leave you some guys to help you out. He said, no, I don't need the help. He still doesn't trust his brother. Okay? You got 400 men and you leave 50 men. 50 men can do a lot of damage. 20 men can do a lot of damage. So he said, no, we don't need no help. All right? We got the plan. We know how far we need to go every day, where to stop, where to camp, what we're going to do. And so Esau returned that day on his way. What do you think about Taco Cabana after church? What do you think, honey? Taco Cabana after church? Everybody okay with that? Sure, okay. I like Taco Cabana, amen. So, we'll find something there. And Jacob journeyed to Sokoth and built him a house and made booths for his cattle. Therefore, the name of the place is called Sokoth. And Jacob came to Salem, a city of Shechem, which is the name of the Canaan, which came from Padan Aram, and pitched his tent before the city, and he brought a parcel of the field. So he paid money for some land, where he spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor. Shechem's father for 100 pieces of money, and erected there an altar and called it Eli Elohai Israel. So we see that he has settled. He's come in, and the first thing he does is he buys a piece of land. He's got the money, and he builds an altar for God. So he's back. So you think everything's going to go great, right? Well, that's going to go with the message. Chapter 34. Remember, they had a girl. The only girl that they talk about is Diane. And we're in chapter 34. And Diane, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. She didn't go see the guys. She wanted to go see the daughters, the young ladies. If there's anybody else that we can, fellowship with, hang out together, go to the movies, whatever. and have parties with, talk to, be friends, play with. All right? And so she's exploring. And when Shem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. So the first thing he did was he saw how good looking she was, and I don't know if it's rape. I don't know if it's a relationship. First guy she ever met. They fall in love. Things happen. Things get heated. And the next thing you know, they're together. And his soul clave unto Diane. Now he's talking about the young man. Unto Diana, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel. So it was not just a rape, it was love. Okay? He loved her. All right? He really did. And he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. And she came and spake unto her father. And she talked to Dad. Hamor saying, get me this damsel to wife. I want to marry this woman. I done been with her. We're in love. I want to get married. I want to get married. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Diana's daughter. Now his sons were with the